you, Madam Toastmaster. Contests. We have one approaching in 3 weeks. The prospect of competing is a little bit scary, isn't it? If you think so, I would certainly have to agree with you. It's the only time in the year where we get ranked relative to our fellow speakers, and being put on that comparative scale can be very daunting and very uncomfortable. But competing also means there are losers, and failing is so taboo that some of us won't touch it with a 30-foot pole. But I have news for you. Good news. Competing in contests is one of the greatest opportunities presented to you by being part of a Toastmaster program. Whether you go all the way to the district finals or you finish third at the club level, I'll reflect on my experience of 3 benefits that you will get by competing in contests, regardless of how far you end up going. Most of the time when you write a speech, you do it this way. You write a pathway speech, get evaluated. Write a different pathway speech, get evaluated. And it's usually a completely different pathway as you go along. And it's really difficult to apply the feedback from one to the other. While this method of learning is auspicious when it comes to developing new skills, it does have its drawbacks, in my opinion. The most relevant is the risk of applying the feedback. But let me introduce you to the first benefit of competing in a contest by quoting the famous Bruce Lee. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 different kicks once, but the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. I know many of us like to get credit for our speeches, which I completely understand. But when you enter a contest, you don't have any pathways attached to it. So I don't attach pathways to my contest because I want the freedom to explore my interests and my creativity and practice that creativity over and over and over. Maybe not 10,000 times, but still a lot. When I rehearsed my Tall Tale speech last fall, I went through 25 to 35 different rehearsals over a 2-month time frame from October to early December. I had 8 different Toastmasters through several different clubs evaluate me and give me their own unique perspective and ideas on how I could tweak and improve my speech. There were also other contests in the past where I didn't make it to past the club level, but I still rehearsed those speeches 5 to 7 times, and I had members in my club rehearse it with me beforehand to give their feedback. It's a no strings attached speech with no specific objectives, and you are confined basically by the time limits and your own imagination. The freedom to explore, practice, and share whatever you want with your audience is a great perk with competing in contests. The second benefit is the sheer enjoyment. I know what you're thinking. How is it fun? Well, for starters, I already mentioned that you have more freedom than you would with normal speeches because you're not constrained by the pathway. I'll be straight up with you guys, folks. I'd much rather tell you a speech about my time watching a football game while frozen into my seat than I do talking about my democratic leadership style or delivering a research project on how to get more exercise. When I'm speaking about what I want, I have a blast. As soon as that first syllable leaves my mouth, I am having the most fun ever. The stress of preparation goes away, the fear of failure goes away, and it is just so much fun. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say everyone else in this room is the same way. I can see the vibes when Grace is strumming her guitar when she does her speeches. I can see the curiosity emanating from Brad when he speaks about things as commonplace as pencils. And I see the huge smile on Veronica's face when she speaks. The speeches are more interesting, the audiences are larger, and that makes a high that is almost intoxicating when you compete in a contest. There's something cathartic about it. Perhaps it's the realization that you're not going to be evaluated later that evening. You just get judged and put in a ranking. But whether I'm doing a table topic speech on what I would tell my 14-year-old self, or being a maniac juggling a whole bunch of balls, or sharing about my frozen experience in late November. All have been some of the most joyous parts of my Toastmasters experience. Win or lose, they're always so much fun. Now, I mentioned you get to practice the same speech over and over, and it's no strings attached, and it therefore makes it more enjoyable overall. That leads me to the third benefit you get from competing in contests: confidence. Confidence is what we're all striving for here in Toastmaster. Let me iterate the Toastmaster mission real quickly. The Toastmaster mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, which result in greater self-confidence and personal growth. By speaking about what truly makes you happy and truly inspires you, and watching other talented speakers around you do the same, and fortifying those speeches Bruce Lee style, you will get so much confidence. Win or lose, you will get confidence. I know contests are intimidating, and to be honest, I always tell myself I won't be competing, but because it's so enjoyable and it's such a good confidence builder, I always end up signing up. I would love nothing more than to see those remaining contest spots get filled in the evaluation and international speech contests, and see someone go all the way to the district like I did last year. If you are interested in competing, but still ambivalent, just remember that competing can be an immense benefit for you. You will be able to narrow your focus to one speech. You will experience the thrills of being part of the contest. And finally, you will acquire auspicious confidence in yourself. Fellow pace setters and guests, what do you have to lose? Compete this spring. Madam Toastmaster.